All right, guys, welcome back to another amazing episode of NGS Shoutcasting. I'm your host. This time we will be having Missed My Eve versus Waifu Warriors. So, now that you know who's in it, who win it, or lose it, let's get started. We're heading on into the draft. We're going to take this here, Hizzy Foshizi, to Tomb of the Spider Queen. So let us jump on into that draft. And let's take a look. So Tomb of the Spider Queen, it's really important to have adequate wave clear. If you're a team who is not drafting wave clear on a map that is very small lanes, then you're going to be in a lot of pain, because normally you do a 4-1 rotation, and the reason for that is the lanes are so small. You rotate as a unit, and you just blow them up as quickly as possible. If you're not rotating up as quickly as possible, then you're falling behind, and if you're falling behind, you're eventually going to lose the battle. And once you lose the battle, well, that's it really. Now, one of the other key things a lot of people don't think about or don't do on this map is to have a rotation that results in collecting the gems and holding onto those gems. Basically want to have as many gems as possible to try and get yourself back-to-back turn-ins. It gives you a lot more power when you get back-to-back turn-ins than if you're just letting the other team get the turn-in and then you get the turning right back. So out the gate, we're going to see the Maiev. We're going to see the Diablo and the Garage Band. Both are solid bands. This is one of the best maps for Diablo because you're almost always right next to a lane to get globes. Now, the follow-up picks by Waifu Warriors, Stukov and Johanna. Stukov is solid. Problem I have with the Johanna pick is that they've given away power picks onto the side of Missed My E. Johanna is good on this map, but this is vastly overrating Johanna on this map, in my opinion. This is not you never first pick essentially Johanna, in my opinion. She's good to pick up, but not the way it is right now. So the follow-up picks of Gul'dan and Sonya, these are solid. Gul'dan gives more wave clear. Sonya is a good solo laner. And finally, Maiev is decent at the wave clear aspect of things. And I do like the Sonya, especially since you have no solo laner at this point. And the one downside is they're not prioritizing tanks, and already the tanks are getting locked out. Waifu Warriors, this would have been the perfect time. The next part of the draft, pick up another warrior. You take Blaze, for instance. They already have Sonya. If you could get another warrior, main warrior, that can sit bottom, you could do that. Now, that's a bit of a toss-up. Because they took Johanna so early, you can't fully punish Missed My E's lack of a tank. They do punish them by banning out the Malfurion. Problem is that they don't punish essentially twice over, because if Waifu Warriors had drafted this appropriately, then Johanna would be getting picked up now, and they would have denied them a warrior for sure. I mean, technically Johanna's already banned out, already picked up. but you could pick up anyone else. They wouldn't know who you're picking. Now, you definitely need good wave clear. Jaina would be solid. You could get Blaze in the bot lane. You can also do Phoenix in the bot lane. I don't like this at all because Phoenix, although he's good at clearing, you don't need Phoenix as it is right now. Additionally, Maiev can actually take herself out of the fight if you use Purification Salvo or a Meme Beam. Either one of those she can avoid with her trait. Malthael in the solo lane is a highly skilled match. Definitely a skilled matchup between Sonya and Malthael. There's not one person who necessarily wins in this situation. It's mostly how well one of those two players plays that lane matchup. The reason I don't like this really is because Phoenix has been shown to actually be sort of weakish in a lot of ways, and he's been best shown to be super good solo laner. So right now, if I have to bet on someone without even seeing the last pick here, I'm gonna give my money on Mist Mai. It just looks much better, their draft. They have a nub who can take out, Stukov, Phoenix, Johanna. They could take out anyone with the cocoon, and then they can run on past them and, beat the snot out of Waifu warriors. I mean, they're going to be crying back to their waifus at that point. Since 4v5 is not exactly easy to deal with. The only thing I don't like is the Lucio pickup because they deprioritized their support so far down the list on the side of Mist Mai that they lost the opportunity to get Malfurion. Like, they literally let them take Malfurion off the table when there was no need whatsoever to remove him. So Waifu warriors are super squishy, like ultra squishy. They have Hanzo. I like the Hanzo pick. This is where, if this were drafted correctly, you would have Hanzo, Phoenix in the bot lane, and Malthael would be anyone else, honestly. You would have potentially Blaze in the 4-man rotation, because Blaze, Johanna, Phoenix would be instantly free clear the waves. Free and easy, lemon squeezy. So, like I said, of these two teams, I'm putting my money on Mist Mai just based off of the draft, and I'm really not expecting much out of Waifu Warriors draft in the long call of this game. It basically comes down to they take out the support, they blow up Phoenix, Hanzo, Malthael. Hanzo is a little bit safer. Phoenix has to be concerned about getting booped, ragged, double stuns, Purify, and another stun from Sonya. So this is not an easy game for like Phoenix, to get out. Malthael doesn't really have much escape either. So let's jump on into the game here, and let's see how this works on out for both teams. All right, guys. So we got Tells on the Gul'dan. We got Sestrin on the Maiev. The Dude Abode on the Anubarak. Finally, we got Born to Shine on Lucio, and Namk on that Sonya. That'll be Mist Mai. On the other side, we got Kaporks on the Hanzo, Byron 1 on the Phoenix, Flame Tree 357 on the Johanna, Hentai Master on the Malthael, and finally Wezzyfish 123 on that Stukov. So let's take a look at what we got here between both teams. We're actually going to see Regen Master being picked up. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, the globe is much faster to finish up they do have to deal with Byron 1 and Kaporix, so there is quite a bit of damage, but it's a lot of sustained damage, so maybe this is the right way to go. The dude abode is taking a boatload of damage, just like free poked out of his mind there. We also have Naisha's Memento, Celerando, Good Corruption, and finally Tough as Nails. And the Tough as Nails is not really the way to go. This is an incorrect pick, 100% incorrect pick. The reason why it's an incorrect pick is because, tell me who on their team you're going to be scared of. Phoenix is fast autos. Like, Hentai Master getting outplayed out of his mind right now because he's also going to be a bot. And if they don't pause it, I keep it running. But remember, that's, you know, the game rules. There he goes. He is back in it. So, that's 100% incorrect pickup, Tough as Nails. The Phoenix just blows right through it. Hanzo, most of his damage is not coming from his autos. Johanna is a wet noodle. Stukov now, you can get value off of that, but a Stukov who's slapping a Sonya in the face is also a dead Stukov. And finally, Phoenix, when he goes into his repeater, it doesn't matter. Like, he just blows through the Tough as Nails. So in the solo lane situation as well, the War Paint is what you want to sustain against Malthal. Other talents we're going to see picked up here. We got the Redemption. Redemption is always good. I feel like if you don't want the simple geometry, you go Redemption. Unless, of course, you want to go with the Stormbow talents and get the extra damage and extra range. Like, he pretty much has universally good level 1s. Now, the reason this is also solid is if you go with the Serrated Arrows and the Never Outmatched. Never Outmatched combined with this means you get a ton of value at being able to spam your arrows over and over again. Now, on the other side of that, you can also pick up the armor reduction and you get more value out of it. So it allows you flexibility. Now, he's opted for explosive arrows. I feel like if you're opting for explosive arrows, the dude above very far out there. There comes the sun. Oh, nice silence. Went nothing. And it's going to unfortunately come from it. So now, I'll be interested in seeing if he takes Never Outmatched or if he takes the armor reduction. If he takes neither of those, then Redemption is 100% incorrect pick. Now, we got the advanced targeting, we got the emergency protocol on a pale horse. This is really good, but it's also, you know, on this kind of situation, I'm not sure it's actually going to matter too much since it's such a small map. We also have Die Alone, the Growing Infestation, the One Good Spread, Laws of Hope, and finally Eternal Retaliation. I feel like people don't value Eternal Retaliation enough because you can keep spamming it so often. Born to Shine going on in and not going to actually land the boop at all. So we have enough for a turn-in on the side of Mist Mai, enough for a turn-in on the side of Waifu Warriors. We got some big stacks coming on in for the Echoed Corruption. Only 4 globes, 4 minutes in. I can tell you, if you've only gotten 4 globes, that means there's something terribly wrong. The waves, you have 2 waves to soak, top and mid, and you should be getting them as a team. That's one thing. It seems to be that neither team knows how to appropriately rotate on this map quite the same way. Seztran taking a lot of damage there. So we're going to start getting the turn in. Hell's coming on in, getting some more Echoed Corruption stacks in. Really, it's critical that he gets that as fast and as quickly as possible. Now, I expected them to do a lot better with the wave clear. They have a Gul'dan. Like, Gul'dan should just be queuing these waves, queuing the wave, queuing the wave. I have stepping up, hitting Q on a wave, and then they're good to go. 7s are now picked up. We also have now. We have the sharpened arrowhead, so he was opting for that with the explosive arrows. That's perfectly fine. Now I'm coming on in, hot and heavy on that Sonya. Going to be pulled up back in. Flame Tree dishing out the punishment to slow him down. And there's a big Maya pull. Not going to matter. Byron gets that iframe, able to walk away. The red team, aka Waifu Warriors, will clean this up and get themselves the first Web Weavers. So the 10s are going to be sharpened, combat advantage, Cold Hand, Within My Reach, and finally Blessed Momentum. She'll get a lot of condemns out with this build. That's one of those things people undervalue, is that you get so many condemns. It's kind of crazy, especially on this sort of map. Other side, we have the subterranean shield. Also, we had shed exoskeleton. This is 150% the wrong choice. Always the wrong choice. If you're picking this, that means your team comp is probably wrong. You either want Under King, so you can dive as a team. Seztrin taking a lot of damage. He'll be able to make it on out. Mid fort is more than likely going to be going down here. And Time Master pushing on, and Nam going to be having to like do his best to hold the fort. And in the meantime, Mid will actually pick up a kill on Gul'dan. So if you're picking Shed Exoskeleton is always the wrong choice. The reason I say that is because you either want to dive into the team, and if you don't want to dive into the team, and you essentially last picked a noob, you want Beta Barbs. And if you don't want Beta Barbs, then, Dragon Arrow coming on out, Caperks pulling the Dudabo back, nothing is going to happen there. If you're picking Shed Exoskeleton, and that means you've picked a noob into pretty much every wrong scenario that you can think of, because you don't need that movement speed. You want to use your actual hardened shield whenever, well, technically it's not hardened shield, but the shield you get from it is something you want to use at the right time, not just like willy-nilly spam it to get in and get out. You want to use it when you're going to be taking damage. Seztrin taking a lot of damage. Blessed Chill comes on out, and the lockdown won't be enough, and Seztrin will walk away. So, yeah, I think that's always the wrong choice on a noob. Nam is going to be having to look out here. Nice body block from Hentai. He could have done a little bit more there. They do have 10s. Last Right's going to be available and not used. He should have used the Last Rights. There's no reason not to. Like, the whole purpose of it is that every time you kill someone, it reduces the cooldown, and well, you get so much value out of killing people there, especially a free kill like that. So party mix is at 267 and rising. We got Chase the Base. He's going to have to do a lot more than that, since he's only 5 out of 20. 11 globes picked up on the other side. 24 out of 40. We have the Consumed Soul, the Hunger for Power, Purify. We got Wrath of the Berserker, Poison Spear, the Battle Rage, and we also have the Cocoon and Morden's Cage and Sound Barrier. So everything is pretty much normal here. We also have the Flailing Swipe, which kind of makes sense. If I was Stukov, I would have actually held the Flailing Swipe, potentially to see what they were going to pick up. And, there they go. A full engage. There's the Warden's Cage, but it's not going to matter. Lucio is blown on up ASAP, and Seztrin is in trouble. Nobk is in trouble. He's spinning to win as best as he can, but say goodbye to Mist Mai, because they clearly missed some calls and missed some skills there. So that phase is going to result in literally nothing for Miss Mai. Yeah, that's not what you want at all. Like, literally nothing happened for Miss Mai. The Web Weavers, this might as well be back-to-back Web Weavers for Waifu Warriors. So they still don't have Echoed Corruption online, which, takes a while because they only have a single frontliner. This helps for Waifu Warriors in this particular scenario. Now, we also have 13s. We got the Ninja Assassin, the Dampening Fields coming on out. We have the Soul Siphon, the Lingering Spines, and Holy Fury. So this is very scary for Miss Mai. There's the arrow. They're going to lock down Gul'dan, blowing up him in the blink of an eye. And this is going to be all their wave clear pressure absolutely removed right now. That was quite nice on the side of Waifu Warriors. It was a very risky play to burn heroics like that, especially on only a single target. But they have opened it up where they are now on the keep, and they need to be careful though. Gul'dan is back. I would like to see Miss Mai actually commit right now. There's the stun onto Phoenix. There's the cocoon onto Johanna. Not who you want to necessarily actually cocoon. Horrify coming out, not going to do much of anything, actually making him run the wrong way. And this is really bad for Miss Mai as the purification comes on out and the last rites, and down goes a noob, and down goes the gems. Flame Tree is going to keep Born to Shine from getting gum. Born to Shine, he'll be next up on the hit list. And this is now Waifu Warriors' game to lose. So they're now looking for the core here. They almost have 16 advantage. I don't think this is crazy. They do have to deal with Warden's Cage, but that's it. And Waifu Warriors are looking to close out this game very quickly, as there comes the Warden's Cage. Dragon's Arrow going to miss. Flame Tree in the thick of things and slowing down Sezrin. Oh my god, the Echoed Corruption has just completed, knocking through the health pool of Waifu Warriors, and the Duda Bow drop in the cocoon. This is not actually what they want to do, because they do not have their DPS with them, and say goodbye to the rest of Waifu Warriors. Now, they got a little ambitious there. They did get 80 and get it down to 85%. I think that's, perfect. You lost only a single person to take 15% off the court. That's pretty much value town in my opinion. You have Malthao coming on up. You have 16 versus 13. They barely got anything out of it. They don't have enough gems still for a turn-in, and you get a free boss because all of the waves are pushed all the way up from Waifu Warriors. Now, the Duda Boat is continuing to drop the cocoon on the wrong person. Like, if you're going to try and kill someone, Johanna is a wet noodle. She's not going to really do anything. She'll do some CC, but that's about it. You want to drop it on someone like a Stukov. You want to take on maybe Perks, and since he has the redemption, but you definitely don't want to, waste it on Johanna. She's not going to do much to your team fight. And you're not going to be able to kill anyone. There comes the Echoed Corruption online, finally. We also have the Health Stone, the Heart Style, the Shadow Armor, the Burning Rage, and finally Mystical Spear. They probably will not be able to stop this keep from going down. The best they can hope for is actually to not lose the game here. This is kind of like the worst situation. They're down to 4 levels, down to talent. There goes Hentai Master. Warden's Cage being used. The Fear has been used. Wezzy Fish going to flail him on out, but the Dude Abode not going to be stopped by the Pimp Hand of Stukov. Byron trying to escape. He has split on off, and the boss is actually tossing the Dude Abode around. Maiev will pick up another kill. Oof. This core is now down to 55%. Waifu Warriors didn't run past, they fought. This is kind of like the best way for Miss Mai to actually get back in the game. However, they're still down at talent. I don't know if they can actually get back into this game. Waifu Warriors are going to have to do some drastically bad plays and terrible decisions to cause themselves to, lose this game. They have every fort up. They have 2 keeps down against Miss Mai. I mean, this is super hard to lose against. We even have Nam, who has to go all the way back to start clearing up catapults. The catapults alone are going to hold these lanes, pretty much. We have the Knights coming out a little early there. It's going to result in them getting cleared up before the Webweaver phase even starts, which isn't the greatest. So heroics are almost all up for everyone other than Warden's Cage. And let's see how much Miss Mai can get here. If they don't get a single fort here, you can definitely say that's game over. They have to get all these forts, or as many forts as possible. There's 16. We have a Regen Master almost done here. 16th have been picked up. We got the Epicenter. We got Armored Assault. There's the Signs. Purification Salvo coming on out. The Fear, though. Byron is way on deep there, but he'll be able to port on out, and it won't matter too much. Hentai Master on the thick of things in the backside. Last Rat's going to say goodbye to Maiev. Johanna's still trapped in there, and the Dude Abode is still using the cocoon incorrectly, taking out Johanna. Flame Tree not going to even care now. He's right back on in there, trying to punish their positioning. 1 member down, and they have won this team fight pretty handedly. 5v4. Webweaver pushing on in. They lose only the front wall. and the well and front wall over here. Top lane, they don't even lose the front wall. I can safely say this is pretty much GG. If you're in a situation where you cannot get kills with additional pressure, they have the web weavers, then you're pretty much unable to win the game. Additionally, they now have to face the web weavers of Waifu warriors. And let's take a look at some of the DPS numbers. We got Gul'dan with 48k. We got Phoenix with 51. Hanzo with 43. And the next closest for Miss Mai is going to be the Maiev. So 20's approaching. Here comes the Web Weaver. Flame Tree in the thick of things right now. You pop in that Iron Skin. Web Weaver going to be pushing on in now, so they have to be careful. Namk is already in there. Hasn't used his Whirlwind. Can reuse it now that Condemn has been used. Anti-Master getting the body block on in there. Last Rites in the Blessed Shield. Say goodbye to the Bug. He has been stomped. Horrify getting 5, but it's not going to matter. It's way too late at this point. This is almost 100% game. We have 2 catapults in mid. We have 2 catapults top. Purification Salvo coming out now. Sestrin trying everything he can to hold the fort, but it won't matter. This is Waifu Warriors supporting their waifus and making sure they live their life of luxury with victories. All right, guys. So the DPS numbers there, as soon as like the game actually loads, looks like I'm not going to get the numbers because Blizzard, we'll leave it at that. And so we'll just kind of, I felt that they had a significantly better draft on the side of Miss Mai. However, their play in macro is leaving a lot wanting, and I mean a lot. We had generally weakish rotations on their side for the top and mid for Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now, to be fair to them, this was Waifu Warriors map. They had first pick. They chose Tomb of the Spider Queen. Maybe they're just bad at Tomb of the Spider Queen. So we'll give them that kind of, some doubt there. But otherwise, like, Cocoons going on to Johanna, basically doing nothing for the team as Johanna doesn't really do anything against them. I mean, Maiev can just jump up out of Condemns. Yeah, sure, it can stop the whirlwind of Sonya, but Sonya is not winning your game just because of a whirlwind. She's winning the game because she's, smashing face, and Stukov can't heal through the damage because he's stuck in a cocoon. Like, that would be a better target, in my opinion. And he can't slap anyone away from the team fight as well. So that left, quite a bit wanting there. And now we'll be heading on over to the replays. Just sit tight. I just need to get them set up. And just give me a second.